Toddy, God Almighty. This is the Sweat Equity Podcast. I'm your host, Law Smith. Recording this a little late on a Tuesday, trying to get this episode out. Spend a couple minutes getting it done. The reason we're late is because we've got a new sponsor. We've got sponsors on this. We got an advertisement. Yeah. We're going to, look, the promise is anything that comes in just gets reinvested into the program. So, better mics. Maybe I'll take speech classes so I don't mumble as much. I've been watching some of the video, noticing that my mouth, I got a small mouth. This is where any of my buddies would make a BJ joke. But I realize I don't enunciate well because I'm usually not smiling enough. Anyway, find this podcast on Laughable. Tag Law Smith, comedian. Tag any of your favorite comedians. We're a part of the Laughable family. It's an app because the podcast app on iTunes or on your iPhone, I should say, it's just not that good. There's not really a great one out there. This one you can at least tag people you like. So I jump on someone else's podcast. You can find me on Doug Loves Movies. I've never been on. I'd love to be on. But more famous people that you like. You like Gary Vee for entrepreneurship advice. He pops on, someone else's podcast. Boom. There you go. A lot of comedians are they whore themselves out to the other podcasts. And I get it because that's all we do. We just shoot the shit a lot of the time. And it's usually above average, interesting conversation. If you are sticking to the iTunes app or whatever you listen to on Android, I don't know. I'm an Apple guy. Only because Tim Cook, the CEO, was an Auburn guy, War Eagle. Give us a 5-star, subscribe, rate, and review. I'm not sure if this is kosher to even say anymore. I've been listening to other podcasts where they're like, you know what to do. We can't really tell you, but you know what to do. So if you want to do us a favor, pause it, subscribe, 5-star, write like one sentence. It could be that I have a small penis. Still counts. Text is text. It's like the producers. Springtime for Hitler. Whatever, just something there. So that helps. If you want to share this with a friend, family member, that's always good too. Before we get into a talk with corporate fitness trainer, I hope that's her title, Kelsey Bahr. She's also an actress. Does a myriad of creative endeavors. The reason I met her is because our video partner across the hall, 28 Monkeys, they do a lot of video work. They need fill-in people. They need actresses. They need help on voiceover. And so I saw her going through the halls. She saw I had a yoga mat in my office. And I was like, yeah, use this all the time. And I haven't. I need to get on that Diamond Dallas Page program. But before we get into that convo, it's a good conversation. I try to figure out, what's practical for people working all the time. Or you're working full time, you got the extra thing, extra part-time hobby, passion, whatever. What can you do for 20 minutes? What can you eat? It gets a little all over the place because Damian, creative director, owner, co-owner of 208 Monkeys, and I guess my creative partner. I don't know. We're doing a lot of video work. We're doing a lot of work trying to figure out a mashup between our two companies that involves a lot of video and involves placement online, where him and I kind of split the creative because he's got a good creative mind. I've got a good one for this stuff, and I think we got something there. So he's playing a little fast and loose. I think he had a beer while we're doing it, and hope you enjoy it. So this episode brought to you by Grasshopper. So what's Grasshopper? It's the entrepreneurs phone line app. There's some copy they want me to read. I'll try to go through it. I can't really read out loud, so I have to kind of wing this a little bit. But I knew of Grasshopper before we were approached by it, and I was like, oh yeah. When I onboard a lot of startups, they don't have the basics. They need LLC, they need website, just something that's there, some business cards to get started. But one of the really overlooked things is like a business line. Don't put your phone number as your business line, because I Google everybody's number that calls me, and I didn't pick up. I want to see who it is, if it's a scam artist or wasting my time, or someone trying to hit me up for a donation to the school that I went to or something like that. Hey guys, I'll donate when I want to. Okay, phone calls only going to make me not want to do it. But the business phone is kind of funny, because I've told a lot of people, yeah, you need a business line. You should do it. They're not that expensive. And Grasshopper came in, and it's one of those things where it's kind of dumb if you don't, because you need to compartmentalize your life too. Not only do you need that business line just to, fake it till you make it when you're starting out, but you also need it just to, you can turn that line off, keep your other line on when it's personal time. So that's a big one. And Grasshopper hooks our listeners up. So if you go to Grasshopper or trygrasshopper.com/sweat. Yeah, like Key Sweat. So trygrasshopper.com/sweat. Like our boy Key Sweat, my brother from another mother. You can get a $50 savings on your order. $50. There you go. I just saved you $50 on something you probably needed and you kept putting it off. Those gutters aren't going to clean themselves. Your business needs a phone line. You keep putting it off. Go do this. The other thing is, you're a total jabroni if some people figure it out. If you don't have a business phone and you're trying to do your own business and it's just your cell phone, you're like, hello? I can at least pick up our business line and go, hey, Tokabaga Consulting, how may I help you? At least I can do that instead of like, what's up? You there? What's going on? So I hope Grasshopper likes this. But look, when you're starting out, you need a few basics for your business, or you just need to kind of you got a lot of woe days out there. Is that what they call it? Woe days? You got some side chicks. That's kind of business. But Grasshopper's hooking it up. Try grasshopper.com/sweat, like sweat equity, and you get the hookup. However you hear me. All right, let's get into this episode. These intros won't be as long in the future. I was kind of having fun with it, feeling good, stressed out, got a lot of stuff. But, I got a mandate. We get these out at least once a week. Have fun. Peace.
Shots fired today. Ouch.
Wow. I wish I think we just got it on. Now we're on.
You want to run that again?
I
why you're
wish.
single?
Yeah. There are plenty of reasons. We don't have time for that. Anyways.
Can you hear yourself in the headphones?
I can hear myself. This is interesting.
Yeah. Well, because people don't know how loud they talk on a mic, you know, and like is it just gonna drift off like this and just blah, blah, blah. So that's why I was like talking the dick hole. If this is a robot wiener, a girthy one.
I'm telling you.
Right. This is the first dick hole robot microphone thing.
I'm so experienced, man. I'm practically a pro. I mean, they pay me for this now.
I was gonna say you didn't look
This
like you
is like-
struggled at all.
No, not at all. I'm just like, right here, right into the dick hole.
Oh, okay.
Law's a good teacher.
Yeah, I taught Damian a lot about dicks.
I can see that.
Yeah, we ain't talking sports story either. Let's do fitness. Let's get into fitness. I want to hear about it. What do you do in the fitness world? What's going on? We are fast friends. We're new BFFs. You've been working with 208 Monkeys and Digital Caviar that sandwich our office.
Mm-hmm.
You do some acting, right?
Mm-hmm.
What? Tell us about yourself. What do you do? Who you are? What's going on?
Okay.
Because I didn't prepare an intro.
That's okay. I will introduce myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Kelsey. I am 23. I've been in the fitness industry for like 6 years now. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in exercise science, and then I went back for my master's because I had no idea what I wanted to do when I grew up. So I got a master's degree in exercise and nutrition science, and now I work for Employee Health.
What's that?
So I basically work with employees for a company and train them, talk to them about their goals, put them through exercise routines to just kind of help them be healthier.
So what, like the big corporate things where they're like, all right, everybody, we take Friday off and we're going to do something as a team exercise.
No.
No?
No, we're actually like an actual gym. Like
I don't know.
There's equipment.
But in
That
a
sounds
corporation, right?
Yes,
That
for a
sounds so
corporation.
broad that I...
How many employees in this corporation? Just roughly.
Roughly 8,000 employees.
Wow. That's a lot of people to work out.
Mm-hmm. So not everybody takes advantage of it, but we see so many awesome results, and people, they become addicted. You get addicted to the pump. It happens.
I see it.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's a voluntary thing that the corporation you work for, that's the program that they allow for any employee to take.
Yes, but we reel them in because if they participate, they get insurance discounts for their health benefits.
What?
Yes, that's the kicker.
that's how it kind of should be, I think.
I mean,
Honestly.
yeah. I mean, there was a thing as self-employed, sole proprietorship or whatever. Now this is a rumor. I was told this, and what I understand is correct, that you can write off your gym membership, especially if you're paying your own insurance, because it technically does go towards proactive health care.
Possible. That makes sense to me. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, well, next time we get a CPA on here, that's the only thing we're missing.
The next time, never.
Okay, when we get Ruben or the
They
CPA,
sound really
I-
exciting.
I tried to get mine on here, and I was like, "We'll make it exciting," and then we both were like, "No, this is
lame.
it's not. It's gonna be so boring."
But in conjunction with this, I mean, I would love any CPAs out there if you guys want to chime in. At
Go
any
on
point.
his podcast
Yeah.
called The Rap Party.
Yeah, you can go online and we can talk about this. Yeah, we digress so often it doesn't matter.
True.
Well, I mean, it probably actually would be interesting to have a CPA talk about how you can get all the benefits, because movies and film production, a lot of it does rely on like how the taxes work in each state, each
Yeah.
city, and then because now Georgia's the hot spot to go to.
Mhm.
Louisiana used to be, still is, kind of a place to go. It's kind of funny, and then I think the states figure out that tax write-off really doesn't benefit after a while, and then they raise the taxes, or they try to get greedy and raise the taxes back,
Mhm.
and then another state's just like, yeah, come over here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does move the money around, but as far as the working out is concerned, and again, this is something that I wasn't like, I heard this from a grapevine. I think my CPA at some point had told me that your gym membership, especially if you're paying for your own insurance, you can either use that to help lower your insurance, or you can use that to as a tax write-off, because it's proactive health. I mean, let's face it, anyone who's active and moving and doing something. Now, mind you, you could probably write off your gym membership, but if you're not taking advantage of it, like at your corporation where some people don't take advantage of it, I mean, it's there. You actually have to move your body in order to really
Right.
take advantage of it. The tax write-off isn't enough of a reason.
Yeah. I mean, is it like jazzercise? What kind of workout are we talking about?
I mean, I don't do jazzercise.
Mhm.
I don't think I should try it, just knowing my coordination and not very graceful on the dance floor. But no, it's actually, there's a ton of different things that we do. We have group fitness classes. We have personal training. We work with nutrition consultations and things like that. So people, and you'd be amazed at how people don't know what a treadmill is. Like, people are not educated. They don't know how to do things, and that's half the battle, is trying to educate people
Sure.
on.
And you're actually slightly overeducated on, and when it comes to as far as personal trainers are concerned. I mean, I've worked with Kelsey before, and there's some things that I've noticed is that not only does she speak from a personal training standpoint, but she actually looks at the medical science behind some of this.
Oh,
And
that's
yeah,
good.
she's going for a master's, so she's not like, oh yeah, no, I've worked out all my life and I can be qualified as a personal trainer. Because there are some trainers out there that all they've done is they've worked out, they've taken a certification course, and they're done. Now they're personal trainers.
Or
They go on Groupon.
Or none of that, and
Or
they
none
own
of
a
that.
CrossFit gym.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's that too. Kelsey actually went to like a prestigious college to learn, all this medical fitness stuff. So there's actual credit. So I put a little bit more value in when you say something and you tell
Thank
us,
you.
you give us a little bit of you spit a little game about your personal training stuff. So quick question then, how do you find that? I mean, the type of people that you work with. I mean, it's a high stress work environment.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you find that those people that have taken up the workout regimen, how has that affected their maybe their work ethic, their performances? What have you seen? What kind of results have you seen, not just on a physical level, but on a mental level as well?
It's crazy to see that when people come in and, they're tired, they're exhausted, they've been working all day, and they come in for their workout, and then they leave with a fat smile on their face. They are, they've got their workout and they feel better. Their endorphins are flowing. Their blood's moving. They got the oxygen going. It's not, a lot of people sit through their break. They don't take that hour to go move or do anything. They sit and they eat during their lunch break, but then they go back to sitting.
Or drink beer, which today happens to be National Beer Day. I mean, it might not be on the
It's
day.
Happy International Beer Day.
International Beer Day.
Mm-hmm.
So it may not be International Beer Day when you're listening to it, but at this particular moment, I am celebrating with a beer.
Yeah, this will be coming out. We're banking episodes because I got baby number 2 on the way.
Oh my gosh, what is
so I want to
this?
keep banking episodes. Yeah, I don't fuck around.
Like rabbits.
Or I do.
You do. I was going to say, apparently you do.
Oh, I still don't understand how.
Not
this,
around, just fucking.
Yeah, just once, and then not for a while after that. I'm basically a monk right now.
Oh boy.
I still don't understand how this works. So you go into like, I don't know why I'm getting an image of like y'all go in every week to some office and are like working them out in their office. I don't know why this is my image in my head. So how does this work? Like,
So we're an actual facility.
Okay.
Right by the main.
so you're like a
Corporate
office
office.
park or a corporate
Right.
area. Okay,
Gym,
I got
like
you.
a corporate
so
gym.
they sectioned out a piece of their building for you.
Right.
Oh,
essentially.
okay. So it's like my wife used to work at WellCare, one of the big insurance companies of some sort, and they had I'd never even realized until I went over to drop her off once. There's like a whole campus that's got 50,000 employees or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be that kind of thing.
Right. Like just imagine at your home, there's a gym in your basement. Essentially like that. So you
Yeah.
live your life upstairs and then you go downstairs
Well,
to
then
work out.
where do I put the dead hookers? No, okay.
In the attic.
Furnace, in the
In the
furnace.
furnace. Oh, I said attic.
Oh, okay, I could do that.
In the
Yeah, they smell.
furnace.
They don't.
Yeah,
They're
they'd
not good
stink up.
insulation.
So what do you do? Is it a membership deal? Are y'all part of?
Yes. It's
Y'all are like a
payroll-
subcontracted through whatever company owns the building.
Yes. So we're like non-for-profit. It's payroll deducted. So they don't even see it comes from we're taking your money and you don't even see it. It's not
Right.
That sounds like every woman I've ever dated.
It sounds like government.
That's how we do.
So, all right, that's cool. So people come in. So it's just like a gym, but it's just really focused for the people that work in this one particular area.
Yes, employees.
And
Pretty
then-
much employees only.
And you do a holistic kind of approach. It sounds like, or is that you specifically? Is that
no, the whole kind of as a department whole, we kind of believe movement before medication kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we work with people who are on you wouldn't it looks like a pharmacy in their cabinet kind of thing. People who are on lots of medication. It's that's a lot of money and that's stress on the body. These are things that are natural that you're consuming, and the body has to work to break them down, absorb them, blah blah blah, to help you. When really you could eat a salad and do some squats, and it would probably.
Yeah.
Salads and squats cure cancer. I'm gonna make that campaign.
Yeah.
You
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
as long as you're healthy and you're moving, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the problems come from poor diet and lack of movement. Sitting's the new smoking.
Right now, anybody who's watching this, I'm probably the poster child of what she's talking about. I'm not. I'm being
Go drink
honest.
your
I used to
beer.
be-
Go drink your beer.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I used to be very, very active, but unfortunately, I spend a lot of time behind a computer, and it is one of those things that you get in a zone and you don't want to get up because now you're
Right.
in the zone. So
It's a lot of short-term memory use, when you're in that zone.
yeah,
I was thinking about it. I was like, what is it about being in the zone where you're stuck at the desk? You're like, I don't want to get up, but I know this is bad for me.
It's like when you pop an Adderall and you literally cannot move. You're like, I have to get this done.
Yeah, and then you get stuck on one thing and you never finish it.
Yeah.
or you write the worst book of all time. Either way.
I think I've done that.
Or you look at your wiener and you're like, what happened? Some guys get little wieners. All the blood gets out of there.
Right, yeah. It shrinks down to nothing.
It's just science.
Not that I would know from a personal standpoint. But
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, you know, that'd be a great experiment.
Maybe one of your guy friends is like, hey, look. But my thing with I've been thinking about this a lot, and we
I'm just thinking of a scenario in which some guy friend was like, hey, dude, check it out. I took Adderall. Where'd my penis go? And he just walked. Like, you know, like, I'm thinking of in what
You've
scenario.
Never done like a dick tuck? Like, hey,
well,
where did my wiener go kind of thing?
Tucked in, tucked out. Yeah, totally. But
sure.
you know,
That's a thing.
just like you don't have a penis, so it's...
Right, but people do.
There's a lot of dick humor that you're probably not aware of, maybe.
Yeah. Guys are just as fascinated, and we laugh at our penises just as much as women probably do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pretty much.
We get to have fun with it, too. But it's it's ours, so we get to play with it. So
yeah.
whatever.
You do you. You do you.
The Rainmaker. So my thing is, like, what you said a little bit ago is how little people know about nutrition or just generally, like, you need to do something,
and
right?
And you don't.
Right. I remember reading a stat years ago in Wall Street Journal. It was like only 3% of Americans do, like, 30 minutes of cardio 5 times a week. And cardio counted as, like, going for a walk. Like, it was something like that. So
right.
it was like,
wow.
And so, because I think about it, I was like, well, it depends where you surround yourself. Because I used to think, like, well, there's probably a lot of people, doing their own kind of thing, workout wise, or just like you do a physical job or something like that. And it's like, no, we're very stationary, and do not think about it as it affects your brain. I think I get depressed if I don't work out.
Oh my gosh, I am the same way.
If I don't play sports or like do some kind of physical activity or something, it really fucks with my brain, and like it really bums me out. Like,
I get angry. I rarely get angry. Like, if you know me, you know that I'm a happy person. If I miss a workout that I was looking forward to, run away, run and hide, because I get very angry.
Oh man.
Well, now, is that missing one? Like, are you so on it that if you miss one,
okay,
it's like almost an OCD thing where you can't?
It used to be really bad.
Yeah?
Well, just because I was, that's my 1 hour. And Damian and I recently talked about, like, anxiety release and, like, therapy and, getting away from life and just kind of being in the moment and working on yourself, more of, like, in a spiritual way. But that used to be, like, my only cop-out for anxiety, was that 1 hour to myself in the gym. And if I didn't get it, I was miserable. I was, like, angry, upset, and not on purpose, but more so like my body needed it. Yeah. So
I find that a lot of people, especially when they're, you're a father with 2 kids, and some people that are constantly being, like, I get phone calls and I get texts and emails and all the time. I find that when I respond with, "Hey, I'm going to the gym," people respect that, and they give you like that 1 hour before they start blowing up your phone again.
Right.
And I think that's something that we don't really get enough of. If you get yourself in that routine of, hey, for this 1 hour a day, I need to go and do this. That's also an hour away from the text messages, the phone calls, the Facebooking. Although I know there's a lot of people that are Snapchatting in the middle of their workouts, but it also gives you a little bit of that me time. That sometimes for some people that is their only me time that they could get in the entire day.
Right, escaping other people, having to deal. Well, I guess you're not really escaping other people if you're going to a gym because there's people there.
Yeah, but you're not really like, it's not a crazy interaction unless you want it to be.
Right. Right.
Yeah, anyone has their headphones on and they're in their zone, no one's really messing with them.
My favorite's the dude with the Beats headphones, which just seem very clunky to like. It's like you're definitely all you do is weightlift kind of thing.
Oh yeah, we know those.
It just looks silly to me too. I don't know why, but
the new Bluetooth wireless ones that our friend Hector has. He showed me the new ones. They're Bluetooth. They're wireless. They go right in your ear. Those are dope. Because right now I had the issue that when I used to run, the wire getting caught. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh,
While I'm doing my Terminator run, and they would get caught right there. And like, and then there goes my phone flying out of my pocket or something.
Or like jags your ear, and you're like, yeah.
So I'm looking into the wireless now. That's gonna be my new
can't
joint.
find a good combo for that. I've tried to figure it out. Tried a bunch of things. Because I want to use my phone to listen to Spotify or a podcast, and like I can't. First off, the phone's now heavy.
Mhm.
Phones are pretty heavy and big and clunky.
They're getting bigger.
Right. I have to get a new one that's like a phablet.
Yeah, what is that? One of my clients has a phablet, and I was like, "Did you bring your like iPad with you?" And she's like, "It's my phone." I was like, "Your tablet's ringing," and she's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta answer." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, why?"
Well, once a new goddamn iPhone comes out, this one turns to shit. So it's like,
Right, I
and
know.
I think I burned this one out too. So I have to get a new one, and it has the Bluetooth headphones.
Mhm.
I think that's awesome.
Oh yeah, without
Now,
the wire.
What do you do do you wear a fanny pack? Like, do you put the dad clip on the side of
I
your?
think you're gonna have to do a dad clip or something. So even if it's I've never done the armband thing because for some reason when I have
I don't
the,
like it. It,
when I have the arm-
it takes my
yeah.
blood out of
yeah,
my
I feel like,
arm.
I feel like his hand starts to fall asleep
Yeah.
mid
Your
run.
fingers turn purple.
And they're like, you have it too tight. And I'm like, well, if I have it any looser, it's just gonna slide
Right.
up and
It's
down
like
and it's
sweating.
bothering me there.
It'll
the whole
become the
time.
shittiest bracelet
Yeah,
while you
I-
run.
I vote for like they need to come up with the thin design fanny pack like that like one that like really hugs close to the body. It's
They
a little
have
bit more aerodynamic. Really, because all the fanny packs I see are still like 80s clunky.
Well, are you shopping at a fanny pack store, or are you shopping at like a running
Where
store?
is it?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
actually,
yeah,
I'm
you're at a
honest.
fanny pack store.
No, more like a Walmart. I didn't know there was a fanny pack store.
Me neither, but apparently that's where you go because they have legit like running fanny packs where you strap in your keys and your phone and whatever else
Those are
you
for the
need.
creepy runners.
This
the-
is why
the
I come
ones
on your
that
show,
don't
man.
look-
I learn all kinds of new stuff.
That's
like
the ones
there's
for the runners that don't look healthy because they run so much.
Oh my gosh, the skeletons?
the Skeletors
Yes.
with the really bright neon shoes.
Yeah,
That's
I-
smart though.
I roll those.
Why is that smart?
Well, runners typically wake up at the ass crack of dawn, to beat the traffic apparently.
Mhm.
And they should wear neon or reflector or anything because if cars are driving,
I'm telling you, I'm so sleepy in the morning that if I was gonna hit a runner, I'm not looking at their shoes. The shoes is not gonna save them. They need to wear a neon cap or a neon shirt. I can understand that.
Oh
but
yeah. Oh,
your
we got all that.
It's like
Yeah.
you're wearing all black and neon shoes. I'm not gonna see you, buddy.
you wear the reflective hat, the reflective vest, the reflective shoes, the
Reflective
socks.
retainer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hair tie.
Yeah, that's scary. That image right there is just really scary.
So
Can't miss them.
what is a decent? Because I've been thinking about this too. My new motto, my new mantra is kind of trying to marginally getting better every day. Kind of that's what I've been kind of doing the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
Because what I do is when I do the whole like, I gotta fucking go cold turkey on this, or I gotta totally revamp this.
Mhm.
It almost always it's like doing a crash diet almost.
Right. Oh.
So, and I don't do those. I'm just saying like these kind of binge style life changes don't really work to me.
Right.
I think you can't have like one big thing that will help you get over a hump. But my thing is like, all right, I gotta lose this dad bod. Right?
Okay. What?
I'm overweight.
Dad bods aren't. Okay.
For me. No, so I grew up an athlete. Like I grew up
Okay.
playing sports all the time. My dad
Mhm.
played NFL football. Like all my sisters and cousins were like badass volleyball players. We got a family of athletes.
Oh wow.
I'm only fat because of me.
Oh.
You know, it's not genetics. It's not. It's everything I'm doing. And,
Okay.
And I'm feeling bad. So I know that's not a good lifestyle, right?
Okay.
I feel much better just overall if I'm working out.
Right.
You know, I don't have back problems as much if I stretch.
Right.
Maybe do yoga once a week kind of thing. And so my thing is like, all right, I got to kind of slide into this because what I do is I go hard in the paint 1 week
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm so fucked up from being sore
Right.
because I'm trying to get just right back to where I was that I never get back into it.
And you guys work on the second floor, so that's not fun.
Well, that's part of it. The other part's time.
Leg day.
And I'll
Leg
make
day.
excuses to not do something. Like the other night, I was like, all right, I got 20 minutes.
Mhm.
While it's still light outside, I'm going to go for a run. And I don't feel like running, feel like shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go as far as I can, and I'll just walk. And then whenever I can't jog anymore, I'll be a weirdo and do sprints on the track in the
Okay.
park. Because I was a sprinter.
Right.
I'm not a long-distance runner. It's going to take me a while to get back up to that.
Me neither.
I can do the sprint, jog, walk, sprint, and just keep doing that like track practice.
Right.
That's been my kind of, it's gone a lot better as far as everything I've been doing. Don't try to just cram it all into one day.
Right.
Try to plan ahead too.
Okay.
Is a big thing.
Yes.
Like time-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out, I really figured it out. The way to eat healthy is really, you have to plan it out.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And you have to like cook ahead.
Meal prep is key.
You can, definitely helps planning ahead. But if you run into those situations, like there are a bajillion and one, plus more than that, options to eat healthy. Like anywhere you go, you can eat healthy. You can make it healthier. You can ask, please don't use this or substitute that. Like people, they go out and they
You
make
mean like
these
McDonald's fries with no salt?
right, exactly.
Okay,
Hold the
just
salt.
But just in general, it's better to cook your own stuff.
It is because you can control the portion sizes. You can measure things out. You can say, okay, I don't want butter, so don't put butter on it. You know what I'm saying? And if you prepare ahead of time, you're more likely to eat the healthier food because it's there, it's ready for you to go.
Well, and my thing also is like food's so convenient now that you almost don't appreciate it as much, right?
Right. We don't have to kill it on the streets and then skin it and cook it.
Well,
like they used
there's
to.
that part, and then there's also
burns
just like
calories.
Chipotle. Like you just like I just eat and go move along,
Right.
You know, not thinking about it, and it's like not to be like you got to respect the food, bro, but like it does make you think about like what you're eating on the fly all the time when you're eating like shit because you're
Right.
making excuses
It's
like, oh,
also
I'm
the
busy at
spending.
work.
It's also the spending. I mean, on average, what you go and you eat something anywhere, you're gonna spend what, $10 to $15.
Mm-hmm. You do that every day.
Yeah.
You do that every day, 5 days a week, just because let's just say that's your lunch.
Right.
You know what I mean? So let's make it 20 because you got to tip the person, or you got to get a soda, or you got to get a drink,
Or beer.
whatever the case is, or beer. So 20 times 5 is $100 a week, $400 a month, sometimes $500 depending on the month. So on average, what's that? 52 weeks a year, 52 times 20. Calculator.
Are you asking me to
Yeah.
do math right now?
I got it. You guys
It's
talk.
like, don't
I
look at
got-
me.
I'll look that
Yeah, I
up.
was like, I thought you were gonna answer it yourself.
I know.
I
I was
didn't
like,
do the-
I was getting really
I didn't
impressed
pre-do
because
the
in your
math.
head, I'm thinking, is he doing the math now? Because
Bam. You know, it's $1,040 spent on just lunches.
Yeah.
So you spent $1,000. That could probably buy you crap ton of groceries that you could probably eat a lot healthier. than
right,
working.
and buy it in bulk. Measure it out. That's what I
Yeah.
do.
What I've been doing too is like instead of you buy some things in bulk that at Costco or whatever,
Right.
but like food wise, I just make shorter trips to the grocery store now, like
I'm sorry, I
twice
totally
a week.
did that math absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
There's 365.
We need that
days in
accountant we
there.
were
Yeah,
talking
no, right. Keep talking. I'll come back.
It's
But,
Friday. Damian's on weekend mode right now.
But I'll just, instead of trying to do one day a week where you go to the grocery store, I'll do like 2 or 3 and
Okay.
grab fresh stuff and
Vegetables,
kind of make it as you need for the next couple of days. That's worked a lot better too, as far as like eating healthy, staying on course, and all that stuff.
On average, about $5,000 in a year on lunches.
That is way more than a
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, that sounds really low. I'm like, that's not so bad.
He's like, let's go out to lunch.
Well, and food's so cheap now compared to how it used to be. Like it's like a third of the cost it used to be. I remember some Mad Men article I was reading about like the times compared here to now, and it was like food costs are like a third of what they used to be for the average American.
Because they mass produce it.
Right.
Well, they're not really food. They're chickens with no heads burned. But, whatever. Move on.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but how do you sift through a lot of that BS? What's your, like, food-wise? Everything's organic, right? I saw organic Capri Sun.
Yes.
So it's
true.
like, okay, technically they're right. It is, I guess, but
Or like gluten-free strawberries. I'm
Right.
sorry, what? When was there ever gluten in strawberries?
that's called marketing branding, baby.
There you go.
Yeah.
Definitely they stamp organic on things to make it more expensive. Sure, there's going to be some things that you can buy that are better organic, but you don't have to buy organic. You can also wash your food.
I always love how the thing when they put organic, it's like, here's 2 apples. This apple costs 20 cents. This apple costs 25 cents. The organic apple costs 25 cents.
Mm-hmm.
So you're charging me 5 cents more for the apple that came off of the tree that you left alone.
That you didn't spray with
that you didn't do anything with. You just
Right.
left that tree alone. So I get 5 cents more for that apple versus the apple that, hey, you put all your effort in making sure that it's not.
It has a shittier shelf life, so you're paying for that. Yeah. That's the I wonder if Whole Foods will go down with the Amazon Amazon purchasing them as far as like and having food delivery for that from Whole Foods. I wonder how that's going to work out.
That's a new thing. I actually was I was at the grocery store and one lady was wearing this
shipped.
Yes.
The green shirt.
Yeah, and I was like, "What is that?" And she's like, "Well,
it's
people."
If you don't know what it is, it looks like they love aliens or something.
It does. It totally does. And she's like, "Well, this stay-at-home mom who was drinking wine, couldn't go to the grocery store, so she called me because she was too drunk to drive to the grocery store. So I'm picking up her
shipped.
Well, I'm thinking about it just for those things that you need every week. When we have the 2 kids and we're both working, I want to be as efficient as possible with our time.
Right.
Well, what ends up happening with, like, for example, me and Natalia, she works Saturdays, I work Saturdays. We work 6 days a week. Sundays are really our only day together. Our Sundays were spent Sunday mornings waking up at like 6 a.m. to go to the grocery store, to beat everybody, to be done with grocery shopping by 9 a.m., put the groceries up, do all that stuff like that, and just go.
Clean
and then our one day together, half of it was spent doing all those chores.
Right.
Meanwhile, when we discovered Shipped, for example, we were like, okay, cool. The stuff that we always need, like you said,
right?
We put that into the thing. It gets there on a Thursday or whatever the case. Hell, they'll even nice enough to bring it inside the house and put it away for you if you tip them.
Wow.
They take care of that. Now Sunday mornings are spent doing other things like, hey, how about we share a breakfast together?
Right.
Versus
in bed.
running out. Yeah, in bed.
All right, so I feel like Damian and I have been talking the majority of the time. I want to hear about what you like. How about this? What advice would you give to? Because this show's about people trying to do their own thing on the side until they get good enough to do their own thing. It's about that hustle, to do the passion or to do the idea you think will work while you're probably working a full-time job.
Right.
And so it's a little bit of motivational meets pragmatic kind of information. And I've always had like 3 gigs going at once. So I was used to kind of figuring out, okay, I've got this little wedge of time to work out, to do whatever. What is practical advice for that person that works 9 to 5s, trying to do the side hustle, let's say, add on another 20 hours a week?
Okay.
What is like practical advice to give them on the fitness side and on the health side?
How to squeeze that stuff in? Yeah.
Okay, so squeezing things in. So 1 hour is 4% of your day, right?
Yeah, sure.
So
I didn't do the calculation.
Do you have the calculator?
You can just magically did that in my head. No, it's really not that much time that you can devote that 4% to your health, to your own health. So, but I think people think it's hard because, they have to pack their bag. They have to, drive to the gym. What if there's traffic? I have to get out by this time. They're like, forget it, I'm not going to go. There are plenty of opportunities to do things like at-home videos, going around your neighborhood, things of that sort. Like there are ways to get it in. What I think works best is the buddy system, having people hold you accountable. Like, for example, at my job right now, one of the employees at my job said she's doing a squat challenge for 30 days. She's doing 100 squats every day for 30 days. So I was like, I'll do it with you. And then there are probably 6 or 7 of us that are doing the squat challenge.
Okay.
So
what's the penalty if you don't? You miss a day.
Then you don't look like Beyonce. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So
agreed.
We went as far as taking before and after pictures. We measured our butts because we want to see.
You can do that?
You can measure your butt.
I've always said that I could study the circumference of a woman's butt from afar, but you mean you
can actually measure your butt? Yes.
You
Measuring
can do
tape
that
and all.
math, but you can't do arithmetic.
I'm not surprised.
Hey, there's
You're like the diameter from her asshole is. So, all right.
But yesterday we did them together. We did 25 different versions, or we did 25 squats, 4 different versions.
Okay.
And then today we all held each other accountable. Or like, you do your squats, you do 50 now, you do 50 after your next client. Like, we chopped it up. So having other people there to push you and you push them, it's buddy system. The other thing is since it's kind of special in my workplace, these people have to make an appointment with me. Okay. So they have to make 6 appointments, and it's once a week. You're not going to not go to your doctor's appointment because you're tired. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go.
well,
to your doctor's
you want them drugs, you want them opiates, yeah.
Right, but these people have the same motivation. You want to look good. You know what I'm saying? They want to lose the weight. They want to put on the muscle. They want to look lean.
So you're saying they need to schedule a time.
Yes, they need to pencil it in as if it's like a doctor's appointment. When I was working on campus at college, I had the same like 5 or 6 girls coming to my group fitness class every week. They did not miss a day. One girl missed a day and we made her do suicides up and down the studio. But I was like, how do you guys get here so consistently? They scheduled it in as if it's a class, like if a
Sure.
college course.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's perfect. They're like, so we have to go. And the 6 of them were all friends. So they held each other accountable. So it is possible. That's been the best thing that I can think of. But people are very quick to make excuses.
Sure. Yeah.
How do you deal with the excuse monster in your brain?
Oh my gosh, you slap yourself. Slap yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Well,
What are the
okay, so, just back to that real quick. I found that if you take one day to plan the week,
Mm-hmm.
it hurts all. This is not my mode growing up. I'm trying to change behavior,
Mm-hmm.
but since I started doing that, go all right on Sunday. I take like 30 minutes and go just look at iCal and just go, okay, I think I can do workout here, get up early here, do this, and try to fit. And now I'll start wedging in like a spin class,
Yep.
a yoga class in there. That is the biggest thing, is really time management.
Absolutely.
And I think if you have to be the person that wakes up early, I heard this from Jocko Willink, who's a Navy SEAL, now like motivational speaker. He talks about the 4:30 wake up, and I did it for a week, and I was definitely more productive.
Mm-hmm.
Because at night it was just like I don't need to watch Netflix.
Right.
I just have it on, and I'm not even really watching it.
Right.
I just don't want to go to bed at 10 for my own weirdness of not wanting to go to bed before 10.
That's because as kids we're trained that we have to go to bed at a certain time every time. So when we get to be teenagers and then young adults, we tend to be like, well, I'm staying up until 4 a.m. in the morning if I feel like it.
Right, but I mean, it's ultimately it was getting in the way. That weird, like, I don't want to go to bed so early. It is getting in the way of what I really want to do.
Right.
And so what I did was go, all right, wake up at 4:30, and it kind of mandated that I have to do some kind of physical activity every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like today, I was like, all right, I got a random hour. I'm just gonna go to the gym, get it done.
Perfect.
Feel like ass. I can do the Stairmaster for 40 minutes.
Something.
And I answered emails on the phone.
There you go. Multitask.
Yeah.
No, I watch HBO while I'm doing my cardio. Like
so that's the reward one, right?
Mhm.
Where some people won't watch TV unless they're doing some kind of sit-ups or push-ups, or they get those things done while watching at home
right.
to like unlock it as a reward for themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So like, but the thing about the 4:30 wake up, I go, all right, this sucks for sure. And it's definitely not something I want to do when I get back into doing stand-up a lot more,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a little too tough. You're up really late. It's hard to go to sleep if you're all jacked up from shows and stuff.
Right.
But I said, like, do this until, like, I try to give myself, like, a little reward. Like, do this until you get these things done, then creep it up to, like, 5. And then I crept it up to 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
And 5:30 right now is where I'm working at. But, like, the other thing he was saying, Jocko Willink was saying, was, like, get up and just get moving.
Right.
Set your shit out the night before so you don't have to think about it. I've been doing that.
That's exactly what I do. I do my to-do list for the next day, the night before I go to bed. I'm like, all right, what do I have to do when I wake up? And I plan it out by time. Like, okay, I have to get to work by 8. Here I am. And then a gym, meal, home. I got to call this person, that person. Like, I go down the line. I have to make sure that I get all these things done in order.
I have a checklist, like get stuff ready for the baby, for his daycare, get my stuff ready for the day. Because I'm not a morning person. So
Ooh.
I'm basically a zombie.
Right.
But I want everything just on autopilot. Because if I feel like shit, I'm still vertical. I can walk around and do all those things
Right.
and get out of the door. So that's helped. And then his thing was like the discipline of doing these things is actually the ultimate freedom, which it sounds corny, but I totally believe it, because I mean, Damian and I talk about this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, we want to do a lot of things through our businesses And if we don't figure this out with these disciplines, we're never going to get there.
Right.
There won't be enough time if it's not time managed properly.
Yeah,
You
and I
won't
think
get
we
there.
sandbag ourselves because it's like, well, I don't want to be this kind of like really accountant kind of guy that's really like fickle and like, no fun league kind of thing.
Right.
But I tell myself it's like just it's not gonna be that way forever. Just do it for a while.
Right. Work needs
till
to
you
be
get
done.
some shit set up.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I went on a rant, but
That's okay.
I want to hear the healthy stuff that you give to the 9-to-5ers also doing the side thing.
Okay.
So like a lot of people eat at their desk. A lot of people eat in the car and stuff. What like is there any hacks other than Ship? Like meal plans online, like something like Blue Apron where you don't have to cook or any of that?
Yeah, there's tons of meal prep companies. Like, it's a growing thing. The industry is kind of saturated now, but there's tons of different options. I know there's Fit Life, there's Rebuilt Meals, there's Nutrition Solutions. There's tons of, they're already cooked for you. They taste great. Like, the macronutrients are already planned out for you. You know how many grams of protein you're eating, you know how many carbs you're eating. All you have to do is pretty much pay for it, and it's there.
Yeah.
So if for the convenience,
in comparison to just cooking it yourself, I mean, how much of it would, I mean, we'd have to probably do a study to give an accurate number. But is it like a little bit more than just cooking it yourself? Is it a lot more than cooking it yourself? Is it affordable for someone who's working a 9-to-5 who's trying to get into that? I mean,
if you're trying to eat healthy, I think it's absolutely worth it, because if you don't have enough time to, if you're going out and you don't have enough time to cook a healthy meal and you're running out and grabbing the fast food or whatever it is, it's something unhealthy. First of all, you're spending the money, and second of all, you don't have that healthy option. You're going to grab whatever is quick and cheap, and it's usually not healthy.
yeah.
So
I mean, meal preps when I was doing meal preps took me several hours on Sunday.
oh yeah,
Because
takes me
you're
2 to
cooking
3
it, then
hours.
you're portioning it out. It does take
the
a
cook,
while.
the
It's
cleanup,
not-
and
yeah.
everything. Yeah,
They have them like ready to go in the little
You-
containers and stuff.
you heat them up, you eat them, and you go.
But how close is that to just buying a bunch of lean cuisines and stuff like that? Like how?
Oh, lean cuisine's garbage.
I'm just asking. I'm just I've never done.
You can buy lean cuisine if you want.
I'm not trying to
They're
down lean
gross, that-
cuisines,
they
but I'm
just-
just trying to say like
they're
how
they're
different
so
is it?
gross.
It's the quality of the food. It's not frozen. It's usually made like that week before, and then they send you whatever 5 days worth of meals or whatever it is. You can get breakfast, you can get lunch, you can get dinner, you can all three if you are that busy. But I mean, honestly, if it's a lunchtime thing where you need to be sitting in the computer, or you need to be doing your work, or you want to go to the gym and take that time rather than going out to eat, you have your meal that's healthy, already cooked for you. It's gonna taste good. They typically don't give you like bland cardboard food.
Okay. All right.
But I think if you're worried about time management, like taking cooking and cleaning and all that out of the mix.
How do you how about this? The other part, I think a lot of people are people that are trying and they give up. I think this is the big one, is not really like you're doing the squats thing, right? You guys are looking back at the before.
Right.
And this is like a little science test on yourself, in a way.
Yeah, it is. It's a study.
And so I think what people are really bad about is trying to go, hey, this 6 weeks I'll try this or whatever. Try something and then try to see what the results are and how you felt along the way. As far as like either changing your diet a little bit, a lot of people just don't know. They don't know how to tune themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a lot of people just don't know what works for them.
Right.
Because they don't really look back at the trial and error stuff.
They're not reflecting. They're not logging. They're not. I think tracking is the best thing that you can do, because if it's not working, then you can look back and say, okay, well, maybe I'll change this. If you're doing cardio 5 days a week and all of a sudden you plateau, well, maybe switch it up. Maybe do some weightlifting, or, kind of, it's all experimenting on yourself.
Right.
And it's going to take time to kind of figure out what works best for you. Same thing with diet. I mean, some people are like, I'm going to go on this low carb diet, and it doesn't work for them, or they're going to go on this no carb diet, or high protein, or high fat, or low fat. It's really, You have to figure out what works best for your body and how does it make you feel? Is it realistic? Is it maintainable? But people are quick to fall off the bandwagon because they don't see results in the first 2 weeks. So I think taking those pictures, or I'm not a huge fan of jumping on the scale because depending on, water and carbohydrate intake, because carbs hold on to water. They retain water. So that's naturally when people
if you tell me they do. I don't know.
Well,
they're a sponge.
Exactly. Well, if you think about it, like carbohydrates retain water molecules. So when people start cutting carbs, they're losing weight, right? But it's usually just water. But that's enough mental motivation for them to keep going.
Right.
People see like the pounds are dropping. They're like, oh, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to, so whatever it takes to get you to keep going is great. But when you start eating more carbs again, you start gaining a little bit more weight, you get discouraged and you fall off the boat and you're like, what's the point? Blah. So you have
a beer in the middle of the day.
Right. And it just ruins your whole day.
And you might be getting married soon. So,
my
you gotta
day's
look
just
svet.
fine. I don't know what y'all talking about.
But I'm just saying, like, people tend to overcomplicate things and they make it so hard on themselves that they give up. It doesn't have to be that hard. Like, don't weigh yourself every day. It doesn't give you enough time to really change at all. Or wake up every day on Sunday mornings and weigh yourself once that week and see how your progress is tracking along the way. All right, do I need to amp it up a little bit? Am I going, is progress kicking the way it's supposed to? Same thing with your diet. I think people pretty much complicate diet to no ends. I mean, there's so much science.
What would be the most basic, simple diet that you would say, hey, look, if you did this, you'd be okay?
Eat to fuel what you're doing for the day. People tend to think like, oh, I need to have this many carbs at this time in the morning every day. But are you really doing the same thing every day? Especially people who work out or people, who are trying to get into fitness. Like, if you are...
And you eat shit for breakfast. We've been fed, like, have orange juice, have cereal. Cereal's not good for you.
It's like so much sugar. You might as well just spoonful yourself some sugar.
Wait a minute, what's wrong with orange juice?
It's sugar,
it's
man.
Sugar.
Crazy amount of sugar.
But
in
all the
orange
vitamin
juice.
C and makes you
Fuck,
feel good.
Dude, you're going to get
yeah.
vitamin C through a lot of other stuff.
Dude, I like orange juice religiously.
That's
like orange juice goes up with the sun. It's sun. It's
I know.
Orange, yellow,
I know.
It's Florida
because it's been etched in your brain. It was mine too. I'd pound orange juice all day when I was little, and it's not.
You guys are
juice in general. Any form of juice is just
well, what
no
about
good.
people that do juicing?
Well, that's because it's coming from the actual fruit or vegetable.
Oh, so if I had freshly squeezed orange juice, I'm okay.
Yeah, they add a ton of garbage to that to make it taste better.
But it says simply
It's
orange.
a different. Yeah.
It's not simple. Nothing is
Okay.
simple.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
I've
different
been
kind
lied
of
to.
sugar.
Your whole life.
Crap.
That's coming out of that. But I mean, like, what? Paleo's probably the best.
No, it
anything?
really depends on your body type and what
How
your
about
goals
vegan?
are.
Pure raw vegan.
Sure, if that's what you're going for, go ahead. I know you too well. You would never.
But it'd be interesting to see how it would affect your mood. Like some people, I think we need meat, but I think I think if you're a meat eater for a while, it'd be interesting to see that control of just of testing yourself, seeing what that's like.
The only
be a
the
dick
only
to
thing you would-
everybody,
The
Right.
Only,
For
the only
weeks.
result you would see is me putting salt on your forearm. And just
Okay, everybody, watch
Come
your
here,
forearms.
Mom.
Watch
Come
your
here, Mom.
forearms.
that dad bod looks juicy.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so let's close it out. Any advice? Anything we didn't touch on that y'all do? Anything you wanted to talk about that I forgot to bring up?
Okay, so as far as what I see as poor habits is hydration. If I were to as you grab your water bottle.
Well, because I heard like 64 ounces a day, and then I heard that's bullshit.
It's just again, it depends on what you're doing all day. We live in Florida and it's humid all day every day.
Well, there's people that listen to this outside of the area. We've got a listenership.
Right. No, I know. But I'm just saying, like, your pee should be clear. If it's yellow, you're dehydrated.
Really?
Yes.
If I took a multivite, then
Okay.
I can allow that.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes your pee will be or yellow because you're excreting vitamins.
Right.
But essentially your pee should be clear. You should be drinking at least 3 to 4 liters a day. Especially, and if you're working out, like you're sweating, like that adds up.
So I just saw that show Adam Ruins Everything. It's one of my favorite shows because I feel like I'm partly that guy a lot of the time, where you're just popping up and going, actually. But he was saying, like, we've made this thing about overhydrating so much, and it's really just drink when you're thirsty.
I think if you're thirsty, you're dehydrated. You shouldn't get to the point where you're thirsty.
I don't think that's dehydration, though. That's just thirsty, right?
But isn't it true that you could also confuse hunger for dehydration?
I got heartburn, and that confuses sometimes.
I heard that sometimes
honestly,
the signal for hunger, like, hey, I'm hungry, but you really...
Look, I don't want to put you on the spot about
No.
this part,
Well, it depends. I think the amount of water that you consume really depends on the person, the individual. But I think that overall, people are generally dehydrated because nobody's really drinking pure water. They're drinking other forms of liquids. But
There's a lot of water in this beer. It's a full 12 ounces of water in there.
Right, but if you think about all the cells in your body, everything in your body that requires water, every cell, cell membranes, everything requires water.
Yeah.
Interesting fact. Did you know that your fat cells, you don't lose fat cells? Did you know that?
Okay.
Kelsey told me that.
I know very little about biology.
Your fat cells don't disappear; they just shrink. So you'll have the same unless you get liposuction. But like
these fatties are hanging out, man.
Yeah, they just get smaller, so it's easier for you to fill them back up. So that's why people are quick to gain the weight back. They do not go away. They just hang out.
You can lose calories. You can lose the substance and stuff that's inside the cell. Boom. But the cell itself actually just stays there.
Huh?
And it just gets smaller.
I'm always gonna have those fat cells in my dick for my fat dick, right?
Yes.
Always.
Girth.
Always.
They're never gonna.
It's
go
all
anywhere.
about the girth.
All right. Anything else we missed other than
I think
water?
we can end on.
I want the water debate, and we'll come back because I'm gonna bring some studies back when you come back.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
I want to look this up because I believe that show because they do all the fact finding to a T. But I believe you as well because it's kind of that thing of like, I know a lot of people that it's like. They're like, I feel like shit all the time. It's like, do you drink water and like kind of like close your eyes every now and again? Like that might do the trick,
Little water, little sleep.
I guess just the people that I run into and the people that I work with mostly, they don't drink hardly any water whatsoever. Like they'll go through a whole workout and they won't take a sip of water. So
I can't because I've got that heartburn that makes me want to puke.
Oh Jesus!
So it's like it feels like it just chills right there.
Yeah. Oh.
And the water will be right there. So I'll drink a bunch right after,
right.
And I'll drink a bunch earlier. But if I'm going for a run, I'll puke.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's not fun.
That's the beauty of being me. This post-nasal drip meets heartburn right in the middle and creates this sweet, really super white, complainy guy.
Yeah.
Like
so don't go on a run with you unless you have water.
I told you were better off ending on the girthy.
Yeah. Now we know.
I can cut this out. I won't, but I can. All right. We out. Peace.